was in the opening couple of league games, but after two straight defeats, Al-Nasr responded superbly. Ronaldo at the centre of it all, banging in the goals. Three straight and spectacular victories. High standard set for themselves individually and collectively. So Al-Raid know they're in for a tough one. A tough start it has been in many ways. But this is a club which has shown a lot of resilience and determination over the last decade or so. Found a way to survive and prosper. One win on the board, a 0-0 draw before the international break. But their focus right now is on staying out of the bottom three. Drawing in. Crowd still coming in. Capacity here just under 30,000. It's a similar scope of a stadium to Al-Nasr's home ground in the King Saud University Stadium. Vilmar Roldan, the latest big name overseas referee to be invited to contribute. He's in charge here. The Colombian assistant along with that. Red, white and black, the famous covers of Al-Raid. Not so many famous names for them, in fairness. I mentioned Gonzalez, who left Ajaccio with a questionable suspension record. Who's been affected this season. Matthias Norman, the last signing of the window. El-Bakawi, the top striker of recent years, left out for Tavares here. And 8 of the Al-Nasr players from international duty, far and wide, but sound. My suggestion is that they know how to manage themselves back here, whatever the demands of the travel.
You would think so. Vastly experienced, the majority top-level players. Al-Raid will be hoping that they start a little bit complacent, but Al-Nasr, as we've already touched on, have just grown, although it's only been a handful of games throughout this season. I think the spine of the team now, when you think of Laporte in there, Otavio adding that craft, that technical quality in the number 10 position, those two have made a real difference, and you can see that from the opening couple of results of the season. Really poor, both ends of the pitch, and then they have just gathered this momentum now, and all the units, even in the wide positions, the fullbacks, incredibly strong. It'll be very difficult to stop.
There's a big demand upon them really at the very start of the league season. They had that win over Al-Hilal in the final of the Arab Clubs Champions Cup, and only 2 days later the first league game was in the schedule. Ronaldo didn't actually play in that game. Defeated by Al-Attifaq, less than ideal. And as Sam has said, the one that probably hurts the most was the subsequent defeat against Al-Tawaf. But they certainly turned it around since then. They won that Champions League playoff, all important, against Al-Ahli Shabab. And then run riot basically in the league since then. Al-Fatah 5-0, Al-Shabab 4-0, and Al-Hazam last time out 5-1. And here we go again. Ronaldo and co back in business in the Russian Saudi Pro League. In a lineup which today also includes Laporte, Otavio, Brozovic and Mane, and some very capable local players still developing, and that goes from the back with the goalkeeper up to the front. Laporte, pushing people around to your
issue in those opening couple of games. It's a bit of a high line, a little bit disjointed at times and easy for opponents to breach. I just think in the last few games they've given up a few opportunities. I mean, the only goal they conceded was a stupendous strike, so it just shows you that watertight defensively now, as well as all the spectacular, intricate stuff we're going to see going the other way.
Jovic, the coach. Interesting little subplot to this fixture. Actually, both he and his opposite number, Luis Castro, are the last two coaches in charge at Shakhtar Donetsk. Here they are at football's newest frontier. Hosea. Clever on the ball he can be. He was closed down quickly then. Will be needed, and he made the muscle. His winning card in that little duel. Down the side it's played here for Sunbul. Side. Portuguese, had a long spell as a backup goalkeeper at Atletico Madrid early in his career. It's a good one back in the middle of the field by Sayoud. It's an interesting selection for me, Sayoud. I have him down as a midfield player actually, Sam, but in the lineups and so on they give him as this kind of second striker, but there he was dropping deep to try to make something happen for you, but Jovic's team. And he liked it, the coach. Yeah, they'll be pleased with that 3 minutes, absolutely. Getting on the ball, everyone having an early touch, decent passage of play. Aldo goes the other way. Goalkeeper looked a shade reluctant to confront him there, I must say. A good race. Maybe not something that you anticipate seeing too often now. Ronaldo playing on the shoulder, but very nearly getting in his next run. Actually takes his line off the left-sided centre half, possibly a fraction too early. His movement, referee's assistant thinks that an offside if he's given the corner kick. Well, he actually did really well to get a toe on it. They come to the collision with the goalkeeper, straining every sinew the centre half to stay with the Portuguese. First plus mark of the day when it doesn't go in the net. Back into the penalty box. Really work out. Drop the ball. Otavio is told it's going to be your ball, but they're telling him he should give it back. Laporte. Javi. Which is the postman in midfield. A touch or two. Also played for Saudi Arabia in the internationals at St James's Park, the home of Newcastle United. 2 defeats. Costa Rica and the Korean Republic. Home crowd like that one. Slow to put by Al-Vichy. Gets it back. Working away. Making a little headway there. And sort of forced away on target. Yeah, it's a good decision. Looked like the referee was going to wave play on there, but certainly a little body check. And I think they'll be really pleased with the start. They've stopped Al-Nasr from making any headway really towards their goal, and they've had plenty of possession, yet to land a punch
themselves, but some good technical players getting on the ball. Looks like a 4-4-1-1, as you said, Paul. So the impetus is on those two wide players to work really hard.
Al-Nasr got down the right, and there he was again, Sayoud, appearing late, driving on from midfield, and they're just struggling to pick him up a little bit, I think. Al-Nasr.
Yeah, a few problems, I think, early stages, only 6 minutes in, but yeah, just early sparring, but Al-Nasr, if they didn't already feel it, looks like they could have a game on their hands. I always like it when, yes, the team's going to be deep set, and they're going to have to give up a lot of the ball, but to have the two up, I think, shows the intent, doesn't it? A big old-fashioned target man with a little intricate, diminutive player nipping in and around him. Hopefully, that could be the key to a good game.
What have you made of the tempo to these fixtures? I know about the quality of the individuals. Some in the early weeks of the season watching this league.
It slows, doesn't it? I think in the second half when fatigue sets in, and obviously the benches are being utilised quite early. That's probably a case of some of the players that come from different leagues getting up to speed. That will probably extend the amount of minutes that the players can play from the off, but at the moment, absolutely, the coach is having to utilise everything they've got in reserve. So we'll see how it transpires as the season plays out.
Al-Nasr picked up well done for the first yellow of the day. Or evening, I should say. Here for a few years, and their level of performance is admirable, really. Al-Raid, year in, year out, just taking the last 6 seasons, 8th, 6th, 10th, 7th, and 10th again last season. So the very thought that they're looking over their shoulder in the opening weeks of this season is rather unusual. They could even be in the relegation spots come the end of this weekend. A bit of headway down his right-hand side, Al-Nasr. Once or twice, I think the toe is getting the overload. Simon, they've done that quite effectively, the visitors, early on.
Yeah, Al-Hanam's position, his starting position, is very high on the right-hand side. I've really enjoyed watching him so far this season. The relationship with Mane is developing game after game. Mane likes the floating field, we know that, and almost become a second striker, get in between the posts. And Al-Hanam is a very, very modern fullback.
Short to Moreira. Tavares. Telles. Across the front of Crozea. And again tucking in. A little bit of a liberty diving in there. Eventually saw off the threat, but it's given away on the edge of the box then by Otavio. Might have been worth a hit from that range. Instead, the goalkeeper comes out of Didi and drops upon it. And now they're bundled over. Seek and destroy on the halfway line.
Don't mind that. I think they've been quite aggressive from the outset. I think that's probably the key. Getting a foothold in the game initially. You were right there, Paul. It was an opportunity to strike, wasn't it? Midfield player in a nice bit of space. Otavio taking liberties, really. A little nutmeg 30 yards from his own goal. They're the type of mistakes that could lead to this becoming a real uphill battle.
And again, in retreat, still managed well, kept his composure well. Now Sayoud again, seeing a lot of ball early on. So to the keeper, Moreira. Had a brief spell at Aston Villa in England. Only a backup even then. Time comes for any goalkeeper. He's got to start starting the game, Sam, I think, regularly. That's the position he found himself in. Now, in a good position here, Fauzer, in space, drives into the box, possibilities on the back post, it's going to drift wide. Fauzer didn't give up on it. Just as well that Al-Akidi stayed awake there, the goalkeeper.
First real attack with proper purpose there, and it was a wonderful ball in. That's so difficult when the ball's running towards the byline to dig out the perfect cross. It was flighted beautifully, and the header just wasn't to match the cross. But again, an early warning sign.
Quite a combative affair early on, and they're winning plenty of ball in the middle of the park, using it quite well on occasion. Fauzer had loads of space here, Sam.
Yeah, Tellez just stepped out, didn't he? Tried to intercept it. Fauzer with a lovely little bit of space down the right-hand side. And as I said, that's an exceptional delivery. Just didn't get the header, really, that it deserved from Saoud. Tough to score, but maybe if he looked square, Tavares is pretty well positioned.
Nawaf Al-Akidi in goal. No barrier, of course, for Tellez and Luis Castro. Heavy Portuguese flavour in this Al-Nasr team, including Otavio. Put on a couple of people in the early moments, didn't he? A bit of payback going on there, I think, against the former Porto man. Substitute against Slovakia and Luxembourg over the last 10 days for Portugal. Tellez. Sharper in the pass there. Fabio back in the middle of it all. So it has run off it. And he's very talented. Wide player. We're quite right to point him out to our viewers before the kick-off. It's not all about the Galacticos. Abdul Rahman Gharib. And what would it be like, I wonder, Sam, for a player like that to wake up every morning and think, I'm going to work with Mane, Ronaldo, Brozovic. How fantastic.
Yeah, something probably that's not been spoken about for the young players, people that are making their way in this exciting league, as it is at the moment, to see these names coming in, yeah. It strikes me that they've signed some brilliant characters as well for criticism that Ronaldo has had in various circles. I think the majority of the players that have played with him
happy when he's scoring goals, so you're not going to see a smile right here for a minute.
The first time he's been afforded a little bit of space, which is surprising. I think they've actually condensed the game quite well to begin with. I think you need to apply pressure, be aggressive with him, make him play backwards, essentially. Able to get turned there. We know that he's capable. Just snatched at that one somewhat.
The apology was for Brozovic, who made a very enterprising run past him. He only apologises to your opponent if he respects you as a player. So that's a good sign as well. Again, winning their fair share of it. Al-Raid. Sunbul, nowhere to go there really, and he doesn't get anything. Mane. They're still complaining that they should have had a free kick the other way there, Sam. What was your view?
I think it was, yeah. Sunbul had nowhere to go, as you said, running towards the touchline, but I think he kidded in the Al-Nasr player. There was contact, looked like a foul to me, so that one definitely was. With the challenge wrong side of Mane, who has been incredibly quiet 15 minutes in, hardly said his name, and that right-hand side has been profitable for Al-Nasr since the start of the season.
Brozovic and Tellez debate it. Brozovic takes it, a little bit flat. Ready, second time. Brozovic again. This is Mane. Ronaldo onto the penalty spot. To make a darting run. I don't think Mane saw him. He went on his own merry way. And he got the shot off. What a good hit it was. And nice strong riposte from the keeper there, Moreira, even if he didn't catch it.
Terrific play. It looked like they were well set, actually. Norman was back in, helping his fullback out, essentially. Good work from the defensive midfielder, but then just got kidded by a bit of beautiful footwork from Mane. Opened up the opportunity to strike. Too hot to take in for the goalkeeper, but a good save no less.
Nobody's idea of a backup striker, of course, Mane. Not far behind Ronaldo, early season in the goal-scoring stakes. Tellez into Mane, and he tried to guide it at that far post, I think.
Doesn't get much better than that delivery from Tellez. I think he'd gone a fraction too early. He actually pointed where he wanted the ball, in behind Wahishi, and just couldn't extend that right leg to finish. This was the previous bit of play down the right-hand side. That's wonderful. A stinging drive, left-footed. Moreira does well, actually, to push that side anywhere down around the 6-yard box penalty spot. That probably gets gobbled up. It's good goalkeeping.
And it was moving more than I actually appreciated from the main camera angle. That's something to do for the other goalkeeper. He's slow to get Tavares was on his way past him, but he's missed the target as well.
What a chance. It's a brilliant ball, actually. It's beautifully played into the space, and it doesn't get any bend on the ball. It's the right finish, I think. Right foot, curl it into that far post, and the deviation. It's side spin, taking it away from the post. It's the contact, it's poor. It's golden chance.
Golden chance for his team. Golden chance to make a headline for himself, Tavares. Called upon today by Jovicevic with El-Bukhari, who's been a very reliable goal scorer, out of form, and apparently struggled for confidence early on. Only on the bench today. One fixture and they actually scored so far this season, and that was in the 3-0 win over Al-Raid. Big short Al-Bishi. Looking to make amends, and did so. Great read by the port. Brozovic. Tavio looking for his right back on the move. Good appeal by Al-Nasr for a corner there, but I don't think there was any hope in that.
Tough pass to execute in the end, but you're right to highlight Laporte stepping out there. Physical specimen, the anticipation. When you're playing against, in essence, lesser players than he's been used to in the last couple of seasons, I think that dominance is just going to come to the fore, especially when he gets fitter and fitter. It's difficult for Al-Raid to get up the pitch naturally if he's defended in that kind of manner.
Rushed Tavares aside there, didn't he? Jimmy. Cavani. Tellez. Ronaldo. Back fair and square. Brozovic. Tavio. First thought was to look for the right back. Cavani. Brozovic. Stop the cross. We heard the cry from, I think it must have been from Jovicevic for Al-Raid. They did eventually stop the cross. The ball back. Sayoud again, trying to drive forward. Tavares spearing through the middle. Not really a pass he could make, but the next best was to win a free kick, which he has done.
Difficult pass to engineer through for Tavares. Probably would have been offside, so this is the best he could have achieved, really. It's a wonderful little pirouette, and he gets the foul. There's definite contact there. It was Tabari, who actually gave the ball away in the middle of the pitch. Tabari has actually read it really well. Wasn't closing with real intensity, but stuck out a leg and they were in business.
Make that 5 in this wall here. Tabari stands just in front of them. Left-footed. He's done some good things in the game, really. Probably entitled to have a go, Sayoud, but never threatening.
No, interestingly, because Fuzair would have been better placed, wouldn't he, with the right foot, standing to the left of the ball. But Sayoud, as you said, has started the game well. Tried to whip it top left, but not this time.
Sadio Mane. Norman in front of him, scurrying away in the middle of the park. Running back. Quite comfortably, actually. There's Norman. Nothing like a player with something to prove, and I think coming out here, Telles is probably a player with quite a lot to prove at this stage in his career. It can drift away for him, or he can go and become a big success story here, serving a side with stellar names. And of course, not just trophies to win it in Saudi Arabia, but they started their Asian Champions League campaign in midweek. Veteran of the UEFA Champions League, of course, Telles, this time at Porto.
Came to Manchester United with such a big reputation. Seeing Fernand play in this position, Al-Nasr already this season, and he gives them a lot going forward, so we'll give them that every game.
And it's working on Al-Gharib, keeping him quiet. Fuzair. By Norman. It's a quarter of the way through this contest, and the Al-Raid support growing with a little bit of confidence here. The way they played, the way they denied Al-Nasr. It's that front save for Morera of consequence, the home goalkeeper. Brozovic. Not here, could have been playing in the Milan derby this evening in Serie A in Italy. Xavier. Unweighted. Speed. Well defended again. Would you agree, Sam? It looks like that's a move they've tried to work on countering Al-Raid in the run-up to this game, bearing in mind they were all their first team players available to them. Down the side goes Fuzair into the opposition box. He took too long under that. Laporte came across.
Yeah, Laporte just about applied enough pressure, but I think Fuzair has to do things quicker. Yeah, looks in an offside position in any case, but has a touch. Yes, he's lacking in support, but that's to go square and just hope that Tavares can make up the distance.
Not quite the entire distance of the Russian Saudi Pro League between these two, but one side looking down at the start of this weekend. Al-Raid on 4 points. We're in 15th. With a win, Al-Nasr will be into double figures. They've got to think about winning this, because given the way they dropped the points in the early weeks, remembering Al-Hilal 6 games played, unbeaten, 16 points. Al-Ittihad just behind them. They're sitting a very, very fast place, but don't tell the Al-Nasr public that. I guess they'll want to reel them in as the season goes along. Time for a drinks break. Your reflections overall, please, Sam.
Really good start from Al-Raid. I have to say they look organised, defending in that 4-4-2. Can be difficult to breach. Like I said, Al-Nasr, I think their fluidity, the rotation is pretty clever. Otavio, for one, yes, he's listed as a number 10, but I think his instruction is to go wherever you want. You want to go short, deep, get on the ball, try and prize the opponent open, you do that. Mane, spoke about him coming in field. Those two, I think, always on the move, are going to continue to make problems for Al-Raid, and that's probably the conversation that's going on there between coach and players. But from a defensive standpoint, they've done pretty much everything that would have been asked of them. It's just having that little bit of quality, a little bit of belief probably in the final third. Some good situations, but not been able to work out PD enough, I suppose. More to come from Al-Nasr, but that's got to be better. That's got to be better, considering the latest form, the goals that have been going in, not enough on the opponent's goal.
Al-Nasr keen to get at him again. Trick, he's saying. I've seen him with his magical feet do things I can't understand. He's coach now, you know. Luis Castro is a professor of physics. Studied physics at university, but some of the things I've seen Mane do in person with a football, I just don't understand how he does it. Look at the start line here, what is it? An attacker. Already ball pulled short by the goalkeeper. Takes a lot of nerve to do what Al-Raid have just done, but they did it quite well. Well done, Sani. Nothing off this time for Al-Raid. Wasn't holding back there. What was your view of that challenge, Sam?
A little clumsy, I think, nothing more. Certainly both players looking in a little bit of trouble. I think there's been a good variation actually in the setup for both teams. Al-Raid have played short when it's been on, but it's not been returned. The goalkeeper playing long towards Tavares on occasions, and that's what you want to see. But I think that's a setup as well. They know where their strength lies. It's probably getting into their ball players, Otavio, Brozovic, and then trying to circulate the ball, get it into the forward player. So neither team, I suppose, obsessed with playing out, playing square, and being really laborious in their build-up. They've got watching on that front. Continue here into his 5th season. Al-Raid. See, he took a bit too long over that. It's reached Sadio Mane. She kept cool really well there. respect for the strong foot some will arrive in. It's poor actually, isn't it? It's a good sight of goal. I thought it was a more acute angle than that. It has to go back across the goalkeeper.
Big problem here for the home side, of course, is that they don't have strikers who've been hitting the net this season. Cheap, the free kick, perhaps, given away.
See there, he just doesn't wrap his left foot around it. That's a very presentable opportunity, hence the facial expression of his coach.
I haven't seen a free kick from this side so far this evening from Al-Nasr. It's the same two-owner in Brozovic. Going to leave it for the left leg of Tevez. Not a great one. Tevez again. Has made room clever. Crosses early. No was opting for that. Very well defended. Done by Al-Nasr. Justin Tavares almost worked out what was there. True to type, wasn't holding back there.
Tavio had given it up, maybe an early shout there. Gonzalez could have just taken it down, couldn't he? But I think such as his mindset, just wants to go and compete and be aggressive. So one takes one for the team.
One or two of the other younger coaches in this league, Jovic, I'm thinking particularly of Matthias Jessler. Apparently he's a very good young player who had to quit the game very early indeed, Sammy. He went from Dinamo Zagreb to Real Madrid as a 17-year-old, and they had high hopes of him. Thinking of people like Robert Prozinecki, who made that journey before him. And it never happened, I'm afraid, because of a bad injury. He laboured on for a while, playing until he decided that he should turn to coaching. Very similar story to Matthias Jessler.
Yeah, it feels like a well-trodden route now, but yeah, I think a lot of players do get lost, don't they? Their career gets finished prematurely by injury. It seemed the most sensible route. I suppose it's getting that opportunity straight away, it's learning, someone's seeing something in you. I think that happens quite a lot, doesn't it? Managers working with a player, probably giving them the guidance and the support that, you know what, you can make a fist of being a coach in it.
And do you think it happens more now than when you were playing, which is maybe 10, 12, 15 years ago?
I think so, yeah, because there's not the, I suppose, necessity to have had that top level career, which maybe there once was, or I think now there's more of an acceptance that football has moved on.
Absolutely right. Look at the man in the other dugout, Castro. He was an academic for a few years.
Matteo Sarri always jumps out there as well. A good example of someone with a completely polar opposite career for a number of years and achieved so much.
Brozovic. Ronaldo comes short, 7 to 77. Now Mane has come short, but I'm not sure he'll get it. Laporte to the postmaster in chief, Brozovic. Badi, Otavio floats one in there. Shade unlucky, nice idea, difficult skill, but we know he's capable of putting it off Brozovic.
Again, I think an example of the similarities between the two players. I think they can fill in for each other. That's the type of ball Brozovic would probably execute. Otavio dropping deep, trying to be the orchestrator. It would have been an audacious cross or finish had he wrapped his right foot around it.
Some concern here for Norman. He was involved in that collision with his centre-back Gonzalez. If in doubt, get him off.
It's a big collision because he was just fully focused, eyes on the ball, just coming to take everything, wasn't he? Because he was anticipating it being an opposition player. Hit it into his teammate. Gesticulating towards his eyes. Thump, isn't it?
Judge the rights and wrongs of all that, but the time has come for a change. And he's going to walk on rather than hop onto the mobile stretcher.
Role just for the moment, alongside Al-Bishi in the middle of the field for Al-Raid. Timara's got a blow to the head there. Accidental by Al-Najami, unquestionably. Tellez. To Laporte. Ronaldo didn't really appeal for a free kick. Some ball into the back of him. The ball did actually connect with Ronaldo's left wrist there. So on several counts, and you can choose which one. It's a free kick to the home side. Yeah, I thought the decision was going to go against Sambor again there, who's been a little bit unfortunate with a few awards that have gone to the opposition. That's the way to play against Ronaldo, I think, and that's a sign of frustration, forcing them away from their goal, back to play, being aggressive, trying to get a foot in. That adds to the frustration that's grown in this first half as we approach half-time. Very few attempts on the goal. Quite subdued in attack. Quite a riveting contest all the same. We gave a few chances. Al-Raid hoping this evening to show that they could step up against one of the big four and put in a big performance to earn a big result. After a very difficult opening few weeks. Jovicevic, the new coach here. Smodica on the back of a 10th place finish, and 10th as low as they've been in this run over recent years. Brozovic. Those pockets of space. Now it is a free kick, pretty much exactly where Ronaldo didn't get one. This time Mane has got one. Yusuf's not going to be able to win that, especially Mane's cleverness, taking it on the back foot there. Really good, smart bit of control. Too rapid the restart. Tellez whipping this towards the far post. We've seen a few lofted deliveries, Brozovic and him in conversation.
Again, it doesn't quite get that far, Sam, does it? And Laporte was in there as well this time. And they've gone all around the houses. Eventually, he persuaded the referee, Roldan, who's there, commits the foul.
He'll be delighted with the way they defended, but I think somewhat disappointed that they're not in front in this game. I think they've had the two best chances of the game, arguably. So how many more are they going to get? Because Al-Nasr will improve, certainly.
Here goes Mane. Steadied himself before he delivered. Gonzalez stayed firm. Brozovic touched the shot a little bit.
It's not an easy chance, but again, real technical quality that he has in his armoury. You expect him, after the chest control, to be able to steer this onto the target. Yes, it's on the half volley. He's being closed, but should do better and just add into that frustration.
So brushed off it. Al-Nasr trying to finish the half strongly, trying to get Ronaldo into the areas where he does most of his damage, but not that time. Well done, the referee just thought about that for a second, but he does give it to the home side.
A lovely ball into him, just fed down the line, encouraging him forward. And again, it was a bit ugly, a bit clumsy. Oh, it's a definite foul there. You can see the outstretched foot there. Bari getting back in, I think. Wrong side. That could be nasty. Putting down the Achilles. Definite free kick. And another opportunity for the dead ball.
Into the international break on something of a high. He got his first ever league goal in the 5-1 drubbing of Al-Khazam, and he's been trying for a few years. That's more like the kind of thing that's earned him a career in the game. I'm not saying fouling people, but doing the defensive stuff in the middle of the field. Ronaldo and Sayoud are exchanging some pleasantries at the moment. Was there? Goes on! Well played, Laporte. Another little moment of encouragement for Al-Raid, however.
One of those occasions, I think Tellez just has to come out and make that challenge there. Either makes a decision there, really. A bit flimsy attempt to make the challenge on Fouze, who skips past him, no problem at all.
Another reminder for Al-Nasr, as some rightly says. Outside of the clearer opportunities. It's a great take by him, but on his toes. Brozovic. Look, a different proposition when they go into top gear earlier, don't they? Al-Nasr, Sam, that's where they can really hurt this Al-Raid backline, I think. Maybe now with Mane. Yes, they do! Oh, what a strike! Sadio Mane! Al-Nasr, against the run of play, have got in front.
They just got a little stretched, didn't they, for one of the first times, as you said. Ball in transition, a little bit more direct, and it means that you've got defenders running back towards their own goal, and you get a little disjointed. That said, what that man's just produced is absolutely beautiful. Because I think once he sets himself, there's very little to hit there. I think we all know, everyone in the stadium probably can anticipate where he's going to try and direct the strike, but it's absolutely perfect. When he takes this touch, which is lovely, and then it has to go into that far corner. As you see, goalkeeper at full stretch. almost kisses the inside of the post. Not the truest strike he'll ever hit, but look at that, right inside the far corner. Wonderful goal.
Goal number 5. 2 away to Al-Fatah. A goal against Al-Shabaab. And the last one in the 5-1 last week. And here they go again. Could it all be falling apart inside 60 seconds here for Al-Raid? And surely it's not Omar Gonzalez yet again in his career. Surely not.
Mistake of all their own doing, if you like, Gonzalez. Yes, there's a tangle with Mane. I think he's recognised straight away that there's a contact.
Wahishi in an all kind of panic mode there.
Yeah, the initial contact outside, does it continue in? It probably does, doesn't it? Still got hold of him here. Oh, it goes down just on the outside. This will be interesting. Definitely be looked at. It's actually outside of the area, maybe where the referee's placing the ball. Doesn't matter. 0-10.
So the penalty of a different variety, as long as the red card stands. Of course, I don't know what you would do if the red card is rescinded, because it can't then surely be a free kick, can it? It's a difficult one for the referee, that, isn't it? I suppose it could be, just given as a lesser offence than a straight red card, but it's a heavy tariff if Al-Wahishi is walking off here. And it looks like he is.
Quite complimentary about the way they've tried to play at times, but just after conceding, calamitous way to ultimately give your side such an uphill battle now. What remains? Really bad individual mistake. Punished on by Mane, let's give him credit, he's just scored.
Absolutely. You said it 20 minutes ago, he'll come to life in a minute, and that's what's happened. He's got a great individual goal, and then he's right back at it immediately from the restart. Here comes Ronaldo. I thought that was going to burst the net, that one, did you?
I did, yeah. It probably needed that deflection, didn't it? Let's have a look. Is this on the target? It's a stinging effort. I think there you just have to go through the wall like he attempts, and it's a whisker. Al-Nasr.
One of the big boys has suddenly shown its teeth here in a couple of minutes, and they're at them again now. They really sense it. Brozovic, it's another great win. Ronaldo tried to reverse it, actually given as a foul in the end. And Al-Raid and Gonzalez breathe again.
Al-Najami absolutely steamed into a challenge there. I was surprised that the referee didn't blow up initially, allowed the play to go on. Brozovic really close to being in. Nice little inch ball round the corner, but deal with it on that occasion. Some fine margins, isn't it? They've been superb for, what, 44, 45 minutes. And all of a sudden, it's crashing down. Really good display, defensively sound, posed the threat, and caused Al-Nasr to get increasingly frustrated towards the interval.
But here's the thing, Sam, from Al-Nasr's perspective. They've not played particularly well. They got a break, they took it, and they didn't rest on their laurels. They went about trying to get another one immediately, and were so very close to getting one.
Yeah, let's get it right. 9 times out of 10, if that opportunity happens at the other end, it's probably spurned one chance. Sadio Mane dispatches it, and that's going to be the difference in so many games this season. It is the hardest job in football, and Al-Nasr are fortunate to have a few masters out there for them, as do some of the other sides in the Saudi Pro Division.
Goal kick. And breathing space. But what they need is the half-time whistle here, Al-Raid, and I think we might be a couple more minutes away from that. So the rethink already underway. Kovacevic perhaps will hope that he can get through unscathed until half-time and adjust accordingly. It's a different story if they'd taken one of those chances at the other end earlier. That is in Sunbul in particular. They snap it away on Tabio. Teles. 7 minutes and no more of additional time played. A captivating first half, transformed in the last few minutes of it. Sadio Mane with a special, brilliant effort, cutting in, and then, for a moment or two, panic stations it was for Al-Raid. They lose a man, sent off, straight red card for Bandar Wahishi, and so close to Ronaldo finding the net from the subsequent free kick on the edge of the box. Al-Raid's good intentions and good work in the first 30 minutes for naught, and they trail at home, a side that have struggled to score goals all season. Same story tonight. Half-time, Al-Raid 0, Al-Nasr 1. So Al-Nasr with more of the ball, 60 to 40% in possession terms, and although he didn't feel like it for most of the first half, that flurry of late goal attempts means that they have outshot the home side also. Certainly more of the ball in forward areas in terms of creating clever passes around the fringes of the box. And in addition to the red card, a yellow slightly earlier for Mohamed Al-Dosari for Al-Raid. So let's review the best of it. Sam, Al-Nasr coming back from various points of the compass after the international break. This might open the game up. Ronaldo on the drive, and for a moment threatening to get wrong side of Wahishi.
It's great movement, takes his line off Al-Yusuf. Brozovic delivers the perfect ball, and a little bit desperate to defend him, but able to get a toe on the ball. Just waving away any potential penalty appeals there. Wahishi, his first little bit of involvement in the game, very good actually, matching the run and telling foot on the ball as well.
Well, that's the telling part about it, really, isn't it? He's done a lot of things very well indeed, as many of the other Al-Raid players have in this game. Fuzair, not the quickest, but he's a very canny operator, even in the twilight days of his career. Great cross to the back post, and he didn't give up on it, even if the header coming in from the other side was Sunbul was not really a threat.
It's a really good little bit of play, and Fuzair has shown his quality at times, as is Sayoud on the far post here, just unable to do anything much with that header. Could have gone square, could have gone towards the far post in the end. It's just in between the two, and Al-Nasr survived, but at that stage it was a really good game plan, I felt. Defensively solid and posed the threat going the other way, which was the blueprint I spoke of early part of the game.
Ronaldo took it off Brozovic. I think even he would agree he perhaps should have returned the favour there. Not his best.
Generally they've marshalled him well and shown him back towards his own goal. There he's afforded too much space. I think you've got to be aggressive. That frustration seeped out of him, I think, towards the tail end of that first half.
Sadio Mane slowly getting back to it tonight. A foretaste of what was to come, identical in so many ways to the goal we'll see in a moment. Good stop that by Morena, because that was trapping.
Norman actually did brilliantly to get back into a good defensive position there to help out the fullback, but just got done by a brilliant little bit of skill, stinging effort, and as we said, I think Morera, credit him there, the power he gets on the parry actually, to take it out of the 18-yard box almost. Ball moving from right to left, it's a good stop.
Tellez this time with the feed into Mane. That was probably the best ball of the half from Tellez that we saw, and clever run by Mane. We've seen him do it before, haven't we, Sam?
Yeah, it was a brilliant bit of play actually. Tellez put two nice balls in. One was well defended at the near post. That one found its intended target.
Big chances coming and going at the other end. Tavares this time. Shaqiri got there just in the nick of time, maybe distracted him, Tavares. So
beautiful ball. I think so. I think credit the goalkeeper there. Came out aggressively. You quite often get this collision after the strike, and just didn't get the deviation on the ball. I think it's the right finish. Trying to curl it into the far post, but didn't execute it.
And a really good spell this was in the game for Al-Raid. Another good little feed into Fuzer to the front men, helped on by Tavares and Sunbul. Listen, people are going to say, oh, near thing, hit the outside of the post. Should be doing better, really, shouldn't he?
I think it's a great chance. I think it's clever from Tavares, holding the play up. He feeds that. He says, stick that in the net on your strong left side. It's got to go towards the far post. See here, it's a real clear sight of goal. He's not being pressurised. You can see the far post. Got to find it.
So the frustration for Jovicevic all too apparent. Don't get that many, and you may pay. Run up to half-time dominated by Al-Nasr. Dropped on the edge of the box for Brozovic. Disappointed with himself for obvious reasons.
Probing, but it didn't feel like the goal was going to come. I think those Al-Raid players will be sat in the dressing room now, questioning how they're in this position, quite frankly, because it was a really good display, starting to turn the screw, but obviously had to call on something magnificent to hopefully for them open the floodgates. Didn't look like it was going to come. That's a brilliant goal.
It just makes that look ridiculously easy.
Yeah, it's half a chance. I think once he takes this touch, it's a bad bit of defending, you've got to say, but it can only go there. I can only emphasise that. That goes towards the near post or doesn't get the direction towards the far so immaculately. Keeper saves that, no question. So it's perfectly directed. Maybe I did it a disservice. It's a pretty true strike.
And straight from the kick-off, this panic. Wahishi in all kinds of trouble. The referee, Wilmar Roldan, with the maximum sanction. The ball stopping just outside the penalty box, so it was not a penalty kick, but a red card is a penalty enough for the home side here. Mane was in for his second, right from the kickoff.
Yeah, it's difficult once you are in that position, that predicament, once you've made the poor touch, but he makes it easy for the referee, you've got to say, grabs him, no question, that is the right decision.
Ronaldo nearest whiskers away from making it two. Was a deflection on it, and on the end of the wall, turned his back Al-Dosari, but they got away with it. So as before, they've got goal in front. They've had the more of the ball, the better of the action in and around the goal mouth ultimately, but those 4 shots for Al-Raid, very telling indeed. 3 very decent chances in there, and they have not taken any of them. So we're going to pause for a moment or two, and we look forward to the pleasure of your company again when the teams make their way out for the second half. Captivating contest in many ways, but now Al-Raid are busy making plans to play with 10 men. So all set as you rejoin us here. Anderson Conceição, known as Talisca, is coming on for Al-Nasr. And there's been a change by Al-Raid. Abdul Al-Fahad will start. Al-Raid start to try to undo the damage of that final 3 or 4 minutes before half-time. A brilliant Mane goal, and very nearly another from the Ronaldo.
И замена в составе Аль-Раеда. И замена у Аль-Насра. Талиска вместо Гариба появляется. А у Аль-Раеда появился Абдулла Аль-Вахад вместо 17-го Жулио Тавареша. Стартовал матч, и представлю вам стартовые составы на второй тайм. Состав Аль-Раеда: воротах номер 1 Андре Морейра, далее 43-й Абдулла Аль-Юсеф, 2-й Бандар Вахиши, 21-й Омар Гонсалес, 32-й Мохаммед Аль-Досери, 45-й Яхья Собель, 8-й Матиас Норман, 14-й Мансур Аль-Беше, 10-й Мухаммед Фузаир, 7-й Амир Сауд и вышедший на замену 19-й Абдулла Аль-Фахад. Опасный момент у Аль-Насра в начале тайма. Брозович рвался в штрафную, но Аль-Раед отбивается. Главный тренер Аль-Раеда Игорь Йовичевич. Угловой будут. У Аль-Насра разыгрывают они. Алекс Телеш подает! Удар по воротам. Забирает мяч в руки Андре Морейра. Состав Аль-Насра: в воротах 44-й Наваф Аль-Акиди, 15-й Алекс Телеш, 27-й Эмерик Ляпорт, который не единожды в первом тайме спасал свою команду, 72-й Али Алавжами, 2-й Султан Аль-Ганам, 77-й Марцело Брозович, 17-й Абдулла Аль-Хайбари, 29-й ушел, который Гарри, вместо него появился Талиска под 94-м номером, 25-й Эдминсон Оттавио, 10-й Садио Мане на стре атаки Криштиану Роналду под 7-м номером. Главный тренер Аль-Насра Луиш Каштру. У микрофона по-прежнему Алексей Лепницкий. Вроде бы все сказал. 1-0 после первого тайма. Криштиану не забил штрафной. Там просто повезло Аль-Раеду. Открыл счет Садио Мане. Красную карточку получил Бандар Вахиши. Так что в меньшинстве именно играет Аль-Раед. Теперь точно все. Продолжаем смотреть футбол. Ui, опять момент у Криштиану Роналду. Момент снова у Аль-Насра. Не сбивает Роналду. Снова тупой момент. Аль-Раед в атаке. Заброс штрафную. Но здесь был обязан спасать Алавжами. Подбор за Аль-Насром. Марсело Брозович налево. Садио Мане в атаке. Перевод направо. Вдоль. Вратарская. Оттавио с мячом на противоположном фланге. Назад отдает Оттавио. И Талишка забивает мяч. 2-0. Увеличивает счет.
Talisca! Oh, wonderful! Absolutely wonderful! 4 meetings now against Al-Raid. Surely not better than that one. That's
Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Delicious strike. I think the goalkeeper has that problem because he's afforded so much space. He can go either side there, so he's not going to commit himself one way or the other too early. Probably got to watch it come off Talisca's foot before he moves. And it's just dispatched. You knew as soon as that was struck, it was going to find the net. Power, direction, but again, too much space, and they'll know all about it. You preempted it, Paul. He's got a fine record against this team. And here, received it of Al-Hanan, and that is just perfect. Keeper moves, can't get his arms up in time, flashes past him. Brilliant goal, sensational stuff.
Anything Mane or Ronaldo can do, I'm equal to it, he says. Noticeably brisker in everything they've done since half-time, Al-Nasr, and getting rewards for it.
Great angle, actually gathering speed as it crashes into the net. Sometimes when you look at the goalkeeper's starting position and see where it ends up, you think possibly he can do better, possibly he can make a save, but that was speeding up as it entered the net. Wonderful goal.
So hard, Simon. I'm sure that even asking you must have been in scenarios like this in your own playing days. Al-Raid do so well in so many ways. In the first half was there. So many players have performed very admirably in many ways. But then they go in a goal down and a man down. What does it take when you're in that position?
It's incredibly difficult to take, isn't it? I would presume the game plan would have been exactly what we saw for 40 minutes, give or take. It's in the hands of the gods a little bit in terms of taking the chances. You hope that your forward players can have an on day and can produce those vital moments, but in terms of the defensive stability, it was perfect. They frustrated Al-Nasr throughout that first period. They opened them up 2 or 3 times. That's probably the best you can expect. Got to take those chances, and then the second half probably would have been an uphill challenge, probably would have been bodies on the line. You plan for that. Everything out the window in the space of a minute. Must have been a really despondent dressing room, and it's tough now to respond.
Sayoud. Norman is free on the back post, and still free on the back post, but the ball isn't elevated, and now look at Norman. I was here all the time, chaps. There was just one other element to it. You know, the build-up play was brilliant, and Talisca obviously has scored a goal of the month contender, but the way Al-Yusuf sold himself in the build-up when Al-Nasr attacked, they needed better than that, didn't they, in that moment?
Been a few examples of that. Start of this second half. A few opportunities where the ball was there to be won. Not been physical enough, and I think that was something to be commended in the first half. I thought they really compressed the game into some of the Al-Nasr players, but that's not been evident starting the second half. Maybe fatigue setting in already, or just despondent.
There's that higher tempo in everything that Al-Nasr has done. A fumble by the goalkeeper there. Gideon gets away with. Jami, not clear. Sayoud.
Men over there, it's the wrong choice. Good response actually from going 2-0 down, certainly in terms of territory. They've been up the pitch, they've been able to keep it there as well.
25 odd minutes. That's the ball I think Sam was speaking about. It's well delivered this time. Goalkeeper in no man's land was left to turn round and hope. And another chance today for Al-Raid comes and goes.
It's arguably the best ball of the game. Superb, breaches the back line of Al-Nasr perfectly. I was going to say I admire the attempted finish, because if that comes off, it's beautiful. I think he's got more time. I think he can take that touch. Chip very much could have still been on, or he could have executed a different finish.
Going the other way. Alfana, great cross. Money distracted. Either way, he missed it.
Oh, they're tough, those ones. I want to say it's a sitter, but when they're jumping up at your shins with pace, concentration really, and the contact on the left foot, firm side foot, stiff ankle, doesn't get it right.
I don't think he'll be very happy just at the moment. Somebody might pay for that later. The Al-Hassan will come on in a moment. Al-Nasr seek to find a way through again. Telescope. As the pass blocked down. He supplies one through the middle this time. Can Fuzair do any better? Clean tackle. Referee sees nothing in it. The chance goes, like so many have come and gone for Al-Raid. Fuzair still down. Sayoud was the likely player with the assist then, having, of course, lofted the ball over the crossbar himself, but he plays this pass perfectly.
Timing of the run. This is the uncertainty I was speaking about from Al-Nasr in the early weeks of the season. Tellez playing him onside there. I thought it was a clever bit of forward play, trying to get across the defender and then enticing this challenge that comes in. Oh, yeah, I think that's questionable. I don't think he gets enough of the ball there. It got a celebration, didn't it, from Lajami? He was thrilled.
We're doing instant VAR on that, aren't we?
Interesting. Lajami sprung to his feet and celebrated it like a goal. I'm not so sure that wasn't a foul.
Me too. Abdul Khabiri is going to come off. It's 2-0. Al-Nasr hot favourites to go on and win again. They've got all the devastating frontline players, but every few minutes in this game a moment of concern. Tellez into the space. Tabio was trying to reach. It's back where it started with Tellez. Sayoud trying to make things happen again. Credit to him for that. Might be a yellow card here, I think. Very
sudden they've sharpened up, haven't they? Intensity, I think, was lacking in some of their play, but when you go down to 10, guys are on those forward players to try one or two things.
And they keep on trying them. The other reason I asked that question about how to regroup when you're on the wrong end of it at half-time, sir, that first 5 minutes after half-time, so important in the overall shape of a game like this. Al-Nasr took the first 5 minutes hands down, didn't they?
Yeah, and all of a sudden they've found a little bit of a route, haven't they, back into this game, whether it's complacency from Al-Nasr or just recognising that that high line can be breached, go a little bit more direct and seem to have worked that out and get a little bit of enjoyment. They need to take that opportunity. They've got two very good ones.
The problem is they've just given themselves so much to do. Floats it in there looking for Ronaldo.
Sure, to this point, Ronaldo's had an attempt in open play, just the free kick I can recall. Oh, the one he stabbed wide actually early on in the piece, but very few sights of goal for him.
I recall you saying something very similar about Sadio Mane with about 25 minutes gone in this game. Now we're on the hour. Tennis with the corner. Able to get a clear sight of that. Decent outball again. And off the ball, running fast as the ball is Sayoud, and he was pulled back there. They get a throw. I think Vizier is actually pointing now to the assistant and saying, did you see what happened on the halfway line there as I ran forward?
They're doing their utmost, aren't they, these two diminutive, technical little players. Probably didn't think they had this in their armoury. Started the second half to carry the fight towards Al-Nasr to show that speed, I suppose, directness behind their back line. It's really been in evidence, just final little bit of quality, the final shot, final pass. It's what's been lacking.
If they were to get one, it's my turn to have a go at forecasting what happened in this match. If they get one, could it be set up for a late appearance by Karim El-Barkawi on the basis that he was their top striker last season? Could it be one of those games where his own personal struggle comes to an end? All what ifs at the moment, but they are not going away quietly. Al-Raid. Laporte. I know there are going to be a lot of games of great import, meetings with the big four. Between the big four probably will dictate the course of the title over the long run here in Saudi Arabia. The Champions League campaign, Asian version against Persepolis in Tehran. That all starts in midweek. They're going to need all their top players, and of course the one top player we're not seeing at the moment, Talisca's benefiting from his injury, I think. On the edge again, or is this inside? Hoping it's just outside.
I think it's a good decision. He's one side to make the challenge. It's an exceptional take once more from Mane. I think that's shielding the ball from the defender. He knows what he's doing there. Really clever. Talisca, I mean, they're going to do well to keep him out of this team. Lovely mover. He's got that guile. See, a regular goal scorer in this league previously. He's played against 10 here, but always so inventive. Looks like something's going to happen every time he's on the ball. He's not going to get the free kick here.
Sayoud is doing his very best to delay. So close, near the end of the first half for Ronaldo. Every time he's stepping up for a free kick here, I think the ground staff are just getting ready to order a new set of goalposts or goal nets, because if any of these go in today, they're going to do a lot of damage.
It's missed by a whisker. It's almost perfect, isn't it, the placement? Got the whip on it, maybe not quite enough, but good enough effort. Can't believe it. You know, they're playing against 10 men, 2-0 up. If he doesn't score, he's not going to be happy tonight. That's a given. This is a prime opportunity to get those tally, get that tally up, get those stats up, sorry.
So they persisted with Norman and he gamely stayed out there. But at no point does he look comfortable since that head injury. He's now gone off. Abdullah Al-Fahad has come on for him. Keep on trying. Al-Raid. Hazazi, just to correct myself, is the player who's come on. Frequent substitute. And they're still in it. Now they have a corner.
Really well. Preferably setting up with a back five now, but those runners from deep from the midfield positions in beyond that's all manner of problems in the last 10 minutes.
Sabay is also on the field now. Still full of fight. Around talent, plus Sekou Fofana being nursed along at the moment as he tries to get over that early season calf injury, Sam. That's a daunting prospect. Fofana, I watched him a lot last season in Liga where Lens had a brilliant campaign. By some way, he was one of the real standout players anywhere in Liga. What an addition he will surely prove to be. Once he is fit again.
Yeah, the strength in the squad is something else really now, isn't it? I think it's just grown and grown since those opening couple of games.
Ronaldo is able to see that all the way. Got straight at him more or less.
See fundamentally how this team, this 11 has been pieced together throughout the off-season. The arrival of Laporte, and then Tavia arrives. Fano, as you said, slightly before. Players, but in every position really, it's great quality. There's not going to be any margin for error. We've spoken about that already this evening. We've lost those first couple of games and the way that some of the other sides are motoring.
That's the problem for me. Quite right to mention that.
This makes the games between the fancied sides so imperative, so important. Al-Nasr face the teams in the higher echelons of the league. They take maximum points more times than not. Seen them against Al-Nasr early part of the season, kept that momentum. A really good sign, so they're going to upset a few. That will happen. So just have to make sure it's not them again.
In action in the last game, it's match day 6, the way to Al-Ahly. stop himself.
He just thought he could get a better angle for himself, work it into a nicer position on his right side, just stumbled somewhat. Loves that position. Already seen him score a few from that exact spot. Since he's arrived, bending it in.
To play. Somebody that appears to have got slightly fat for Al-Raid, understandably so. Let's see if they can lift the tempo again here now, because they have had some good moments. Sunderland run off it by Otani. Talisca looking for a free kick. The referee rather doesn't oblige him. To me, actually, in that centre-back role. I'm not saying he's going to achieve what Marquinhos has in the game, but he's short of stature, reads it well, very quick, good to turn. But I guess it all helps if you're playing with somebody like Laporte. Sorry. Knows he can't dive in on Mane. Has really worked well, hasn't it, second half? Pushing Mane out to that side.
Yeah, absolutely.
A constant endeavour of this chap is unadmirable, I must say, Sayu, but again it's easily snuffed out by Rajami.
Yeah, just as you say, that stretches off on the far side of the pitch, bit of cramp setting in. A few of these players are getting through some amount of work, some ball on the opposite side. Essentially, without the ball, he's dropping in invariably as a left back. We'll see it in a moment if he can find the energy, and then he springs into attack. But as you can see, when he was placed, well placed a few moments ago on a couple of occasions, just lacking that intensity now to get down the outside and potentially produce something for his side. He's got that now.
Away from him. Ochavio. Talisca. Took it down. Well played again, Morena. It's becoming quite a duel between those two. Was he offside on one day? Looks like he has been given offside.
Brilliant pick out once more. And what I love about this is the decision making, recognising when it's in flight here. I think the majority of front men would have taken that first time. The touch. Understanding that the defender's giving it up or he's a couple of yards off, touch finish. Really clever attempt.
With a 2-0 lead. Al-Nasr hopeful that they can manage the contest out. This is the moment that made it 2-0. Wonderful, wonderful, and well worth looking at from any angle.
Yeah, it's a brilliant goal. You want your defensive players to get out quicker. Dangles a leg in the end there, but I think it helps the goalkeeper as well if you've got people closing that, and Talisca can maybe only see one side. He can anticipate, wasn't able to. Clear-sighted goal, could go either way. Wonderful execution. Again, do well to keep him out the side when he's producing stuff like that when he gets the opportunity.
Much better than that. It's only a second appearance of the season. Long way to go in the campaign. I'm sure the Al-Nasr support will be expecting him to weigh in as he's done here. So it's not quite the script that I foresaw, but it is time for Karim El-Bakawi. And it it would be very nice indeed for the home support if he could choose his moment now to get the ball rolling as a goal scorer for this season. Sunball makes way. Tennis.
We'll go.
Rashami. Al-Nasr. Shut down. Persisting. Fuser, I must say, who has really stepped up in this second half. Still working hard, still trying to create something meaningful. So he went over, we all heard the appeal. Having a little go at the referee Roldan as he runs back as well. So that's not going to help his cause any. Still having a go at him. It's a great ball up to Ronaldo the other way. Tapia is doing his best to join in. Brozovic has it. Now Talisca. Doesn't try again. Wants to give Ronaldo one. Even then the crowd wanted to hit the second one.
Khaled, men on! We see men on! Get out, Khaled!
Talisca again. Richard Ronaldo. Here he goes. We've waited for it. Now the wait is over. The number 7 scores with 77 minutes and a little more on the clock. 3-0.
Contrast between the two sides there, I think, really evident in the last minute. How hard the home side are having to work to fashion an opportunity. At the other end, copious amounts of chances to extend their lead. And it's two brilliant touches, I would say, here. Talisca with the inventive little bit of approach play, and then Ronaldo's touch to set up the finish, and he's happy now. And he puts the gloss on what looks like yet another victory for Al-Nasr as they're motoring up the table. He's just here, so clever, Talisca. Oh, and it's a nutmeg, it's lovely stuff. And then the finish, this time, gets the purchase, but the direction as well, crashed it past the goalkeeper on his left side.
So 14 in 16 Saudi Pro League appearances in the second half of last season, arriving from Manchester United. Now 7 in 6 in the new campaign. And add to all of that what he did in the pre-season cup competition. all went on. Talisca very nearly doing so. That was very close to being 4, remembering that they hit 5 against Al-Nasr before the international break, 4 at home to Al-Shabaab and 5 against Al-Fatah. And that's something you spoke about at the start of the game, Sam, the imperative to rack up these big scorelines if possible.
Absolutely, and they're starting to carve them open now. Brozovic, I think, with a slide rule pass. Alganan not seen too much of him as an attacking force, but perfect touch once more. Talisca a little bit over it, actually. He's got to dig out the effort, but just couldn't quite curl it into the far post.
With the scoring yet.
Unable to get out, playing themselves into trouble once more, and all trying to get in on the act now. Ronaldo with a forceful effort, you've got to say, generates real power this late in the game, but Moreira, not for the first time, a good stop.
Think about Brozovic. Back to his keeper, his beleaguered goalkeeper. Who's there? The old saying, Sam, goals change games, which they do, but sendings off don't have changed games. It's been so hard for Al-Raid to contain Al-Nasr a man short.
I still feel this finishes 3-0. They can leave with some optimism and some confidence to move forward with. Just setting up the way they did in the first half, that's going to be the way they're going to go against the top sides in the division. Not too much wrong with it. And it's just confidence with the front players. It's rhythm. You get that. I think it's the last thing to come in every season. That final little bit of sharpness. Maybe Mane and Ronaldo are pouring cold water on that sentiment somewhat, but I do believe it. Need a few games to get your fitness, and then that sharpness, that repetitiveness in front of goal, that will come. Set up the side look good. They look well coached in that first half, so hopefully for their sake they keep it at 3. It's got the potential to get ugly, hasn't it?
It really does, I'm afraid. And cruel on Al-Raid for all they've contributed in this football match. They have that mean streak in them, like all top players and top teams, and they're looking for more now. Al-Nasr, more fresh legs. Abdullah Al-Amri and Qasim are going to be introduced very shortly, maybe even now. For Tellez, apparently. Tellez is withdrawn. Al-Tanam. Creeping into the centre forward position, Talisca. Brozovic. To Mane. Sorry, we'll recoup that one. Short to Kassim, in all honesty. Guzer's brushed off it. Talisca. Al-Tanam. Otavio. Otavio again. Using over Kawi there. And a little payback. Another decent pass up to El Bakari. Into the box he goes. They earn themselves a penalty for all their valiant efforts, even if it is to be in a defeat. But Al-Raid do have the chance. And it's yellow, and I think Abdullah Omari is quite grateful for that.
Where you're willing that to have a positive outcome when you see the skill executed in the middle of the pitch, and then Fury making the run in beyond and getting the toe, the all-important toe on the ball. What comes next? It's a mess. It's a definite penalty.
Yeah. And what comes next here? Question for Al-Raid. Does he get the penalty or not, Sam? They're still arguing about it.
And you can understand it, because Guzer's got through so much work, and it's his wonderful little bit of invention that creates the opportunity. It's still going on. Be fascinated to know what's happening. Oh, he's given in. Maybe not.
Needs some intervention from the touchline. I don't get many right, but I did say El Bukhari might come on and do something in this game. He wants that penalty. We can laugh, but in professional football terms, this doesn't actually reflect very well for me. And I think if it was my team, I wouldn't like to see this as a supporter.
No, and especially not 3-0 down, although a goal to get you back up and running is ever so important for front men. So I understand him having the initial word and the initial conversation, but then 3-0 down, chaps, let's get on with it.
It's also a great distraction, and they may have made a decision, but they're still actually having a little go at each other. Guzer gets the call. Over his shoulder, you can probably feel the thunder of El Bakawi, so he better get this in the net. Guzer against Al-Akidi. Does that end the argument? Well, I think it might be revisited in the week, but anyway, they've got a goal. They deserve a goal for everything they've put into this.
My goodness, it's some penalty. There's no pressure on it really, but dispatched it wonderfully well. Nice and cute.
That appeared to be brandished in the direction of Igor Jovicevic, the coach.
My goodness. They deserve it. You're spot on. Would have been unjust had they not got themselves on the score sheet. I would presume that would have been remonstrating maybe the decision not to be a red card.
Could have been that. We're speculating, of course. There was a case for one. Or did he feel he needed to go onto the field to try to sort out the debate over who should take the penalty, which you're not allowed to do? We'll never know for certain. All calmness, even having conceded a goal from Al-Nasr's perspective, and Castro embraces Mane as he's withdrawn. Surely, the job is done. Khalid Al-Ghanam has come on. And confirmation that it was Jovicevic. So unless an appeal is forthcoming, he will sit out the next game. Tough one. Took one away. It's Friday. What about the keeper there? That's a ball that's troubled Al-Nasr a little bit today. Six additional minutes. Talisca.
Could be the first one he's got wrong. Essentially, it's his performance, his individual quality that finished this as a contest. And it looks like an inspired substitution, really. It was born out of getting someone on with a bit more guile, that eye for a pass, and of course an eye for the spectacular. As good as Kareem has been this season, and really enjoyed watching him. Different profile, player, different quality. Maybe that eye for a pass, the calmness, I think, in the final third was called for. Certainly did the job.
Kassim. Twice has tried to make a little run through the middle. The ball just wouldn't arrive for him. I won't say there's any after effects of that little spat, but he didn't release the ball in that direction when he might have done. Brozovic getting himself carded now.
Might have had something to do with it, mightn't it?
I don't know why you're laughing, by the way. You were a centre forward.
Yeah, I think that's frustration is telling there, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
Lash from 30 yards on the angle.
Ronaldo has at least got one reason to be cheerful going home. Brozovic just edged off it.
I'm sure he started to think about his finish on the stretch in the end. With a little dink, wouldn't it? And he'd been able to get there a bit quicker.
Every player who's ever played the game, Sam, has got stories about the dressing room confrontations. I think there might be one for Al-Raid at the end of this game between those two. At least they pass the ball to each other. Comfortable save in the end from Al-Gidi. Done a lot of things very well throughout the game, Mohamed Fazer, in addition to making sure he did score the penalty.
The deflection actually made it a slightly tougher save. It's tired now, you can tell, but touch just got a little astray there.
Got a little help from Gonzalez to deny Ronaldo. Brozovic.
going to get the win quite comprehensively in the end, but 40 minutes, very much in the game, the second half as well. That defensive line has been exposed, and they play against the better side, we'll see.
Now the other way potentially, Ronaldo to expose the home side again. He slicks it in the net, but I'm not sure this is going to count, Eno. Is it going to count? He's still celebrating, he's still hoping. He doesn't know for certain. They all run to him. And it looks like the goal is going to stand this time. So a double in the end for Ronaldo.
Yeah, in conversation with the referee, he smiles. And that's his goal, that's his second, and it's not the truest strike once more. You know how he heads. Onside, isn't it? It's Bishy on the far side, I think, that plays him on, and he gets the deflection, which means the goalkeeper, Moreira, doesn't stand a chance, doesn't even leave his feet. He's got himself a brace.
I wasn't certain the body language of the referee, and I may add, I don't think he actually helped us very much. Anyway, they did it all by themselves, they didn't need any helping hands from anybody. Ronaldo gets two, and it is a comprehensive victory for Al-Nasr at the end of this. Doesn't really tell the full story. Al-Raid with lots of good moments in the first half. Chances came and went for them. The sending off of Wahishi, and just to confirm that despite the confusion, we believe that goal is chalked off, so Ronaldo will have to settle for the one, and I think he's making up with the referee now. A few people with making up to do, including the two who debated the penalty for Al-Raid. Vizer did loft it into the net, and that was a moment of due respectability for a great gutsy effort by the 10 men. That last Ronaldo strike confirmed as being ruled out. The result, Al-Raid 1, Al-Nasr 3. So let's look back over the best of it. Sam, Sadio Mane, flicker to life. And of course, that'll be so spectacular. Moreira with a very good save, and actually a better save than we first thought, as we'll see here.
I think he did pretty well tonight, the goalkeeper. This certainly is a good stop. Looks simple, but it's moving, you can see. Swirling in the air.
Chances coming and going, important chances at the other end in this first half. Tavares, while he was on the field, was an excellent focal point up front. Sumba was very, very lively, but that a clear opportunity which just grazes the outside of the post.
Chance maybe the best of that first half for the home side.
Jovicevic and his men paying in the run-up to half-time. Sadio Mane, little by little, warming up. What a hit that is across the goalkeeper to put Al-Nasr in front.
Defensively, have to do better. It was far too easy for him to come inside, but then perfectly execute finish.
And then immediately from the restart, a moment of panic, so costly. Wahishi sent off, straight red card. The free kick, not a penalty given. The offence is just outside the box. Mane was on his way through, of course.
You can see he's going to get the finish away, isn't he? Felt that maybe Gonzalez was going to be a covering defender there, but wouldn't have got across. And poor mistake, and ultimately that was the end of the contest.
Al-Nasr notably upping it right at the start of the second half. Talisca brought on a goal-scoring midfield player. Guess what he did?
Spectacular effort. He had a real good impact in that second half. Quality player, quality operator, sees a pass, but that's what he does brilliantly well. So slow to get out to him, though. When you know a player's capable, help your goalkeeper out there. Don't take anything away from that. Whipped to perfection.
So Al-Nasr extending control, but Al-Raid were still combative and competitive. They didn't need this goal, Al-Nasr, but I guess everybody expects it, and Ronaldo got it, dispatching what missed quite a number of chances and a number of occasions when Moreira had denied him. The goalkeeper couldn't get anywhere near that one.
Yeah, he gets his goal in the end. Love that from Talisca, very cute. And then the nutmeg. gets the finish it deserves, really. Lovely inventive play, crashes it past Moreira on that occasion.
I guess the ideal scenario for Al-Raid was that this would be the day when Al-Bukhari came on and really made an impact, and he and Fuzair combining well. Bukhari did get in goal side, little bit of panic as Al-Ahly made the challenge, and maybe fortunate only to get the yellow for that. Al-Amri, after a lengthy debate, Fuzair claimed the penalty kick, and with Bukhari breathing down his neck, less than happy, and even arguing after the ball had gone in the net, just as well for everybody involved that he dispatched it with a certain amount of aplomb and a respectable conclusion. But Jovicevic sent off as the argument continued at the end of that. And just to confirm one more time, that stoppage time second goal for Ronaldo ruled out. So, as per the first half, overall possession 60-40 in favour of the winners, 16 shots for Al-Nasr.